challenging road for the finalists to arrive at this stage. And we're about to get things underway at minimum weight.
So coming to the red corner is Edmond KHUDOIAN of Russia. Russia have got a finalist in every weight division apart from one. He's a gold medalist at the European Championships last year, a bronze medalist at the World Championships a couple of years ago, has won 3 fights so far, getting past Tamirtas Yusupov of Kazakhstan in his semi-final. Other wins coming against Kobamelo Mohatlegi of Botswana, Kobe Hunt of Australia. That one stopped in the second round. He's an experienced guy now, 29 years old.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent coming into the blue corner, representing Azerbaijan, Subhan MAMEDOV.
And in stark contrast to KHUDOIAN, the man approaching the boxing ring is just 19 years of age, Subhan MAMEDOV. But already he's earned top spot on the podium at a continental event this summer, claiming the under-23 European title at 50 kilograms at the event in Budapest. Competed in the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool. There is the 29-year-old Edmond KHUDOIAN, 10 years his senior. At the semi-final, he beat the silver medalist from Tashkent 2023, Sakil Alakverdivi of Georgia, on a unanimous point decision verdict for MAMEDOV. A very good display, and the man from Georgia simply could not get going and couldn't close down the towering height and reach that this man possesses at 48 kilogram minimum weight. Remember, his continental triumph coming 2 kilograms north of this, and he's managed to hold 48 kilograms very effectively indeed. Opened his tournament in a round of 32 with a victory in the third round over Joey Kanoy of the Philippines. Body shot stoppage. Then in a round of 16, he beat Israel's Meron Shafiev. And at the quarterfinal stage, it was another impressive victory over the man from Armenia, Bergam Harutyunyan. So we're underway then, the first final of the 23rd edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. And it's between boxers from Russia and Azerbaijan. A more compact figure operating out of the southpaw stance, just poking away with a right cross to the body, is Edmond KHUDOIAN. Already has gone at least one better than the World Championship bronze he secured in Tashkent 2 years ago. His opponent, Subhan MAMEDOV, just 19 years of age, and he has been absolutely outstanding to book his place here from the round of 32. His 5th bout of the tournament. And what he's demonstrated so far is a real ability to control the distance, but KHUDOIAN seems switching stances, just coming away from that trade-off as a southpaw now. And good use of the feet as he switches back orthodox to make these initial 1-2 combinations from MAMEDOV fall short. A little closer that time. MAMEDOV really have to start relying on a 2 and 3 phase attack, because the initial wave of attack is being negated by good use of the feet from KHUDOIAN. So KHUDOIAN just looking to launch raiding attacks through this first half of the opening round. Continuing to switch his stance in front of his man, short with the jab. He dropped down to the body there, did MAMEDOV, and he was altogether more accurate. Again, not sure he fully committed to that first 1-2. It's almost as though he's trying to establish his range. But in the previous bout, MAMEDOV has done a really good job, as he did get through with the left right to the body. He celebrates that by whooping out a little bit of a holler, walking in with the left cross, and keeping the attack going to land with a right hand to the body during that cluster. And KHUDOIAN just looking to impose his physicality and maturity onto MAMEDOV. MAMEDOV continuing to only go in search of one phase attacks. Again, he's celebrating that left hook success to the body. His successes have been easy to score because they've been eye-catching singles or 2-shot combinations. Whereas KHUDOIAN has launched a few more raiding attacks, just as attempted there, but his 2-shot salvo was inaccurate. Well, Hudian with expansive gestures while he's in the pocket. Left hand gets through from Hudian. He's inaccurate, but that right hook catches Mamedov on the disengagement. And Mamedov trying to get inside the mind of Hudian. Mean mugging and gurning, and Hudian just roughing him up as the bell sound to conclude the first.
Interesting first round, that, because Hudian has gone out there really to try and put it on the younger man, and that's not something you generally see in elite level amateur boxing often, but particularly not necessarily in a final. But I feel like that's what he wanted to do there. He was on the front foot, he was aggressive, he did land some scoring shots, but Mamedov at times kept his composure and landed that right hand to the body, and certainly seemed to think that he did a fair bit of damage himself. And in terms of the scoring for that one, there's not an awful lot in it, to be perfectly honest, because you watch those replays there, and I wouldn't say he's wild there, Hudian, but I think he did lose his shape a bit at times compared to previous times I've seen him fight, whereas Mamedov managed to keep his, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a split there. I have noticed a bit of a tendency with the judging over the last 10 days, sometimes for judges to favour the fighter going forward, maybe a little bit too much for my liking, and it is a split, 3-2 Hudian.
So moving to the second round, very little in it over the first 3 minutes. Hudian just scored with a left jab to the body, right cross over the top came back from Mamedov, and Mamedov seeking to get on the front foot now and scores with a raking right cross when he was just on the edge of ring centre seemingly, and Hudian was near the corner. That retractable reach in evidence once again. Terrific work with the right cross from Mamedov, and now Hudian trying to creep his way forwards as a southpaw. Scores with a good left hand to the body, but there's a really strong right cross, landed with a bent elbow, kept the shot going to cause Hudian to totter backwards. Good work to the body once again from Hudian. Dipping down low is Hudian, but he couldn't evade that left right that came in his direction. And he's a really gregarious boxer up in the ring as the teenager. He enjoys his craft up there, just raising the elbows to fend off the incoming fire from Hudian. And again, he's increasing the disparity in height is Hudian, so that there's very little to hit. When he's coming in with his forward forays, he's dipping down low. He'll have to be mindful that he doesn't dip below the belt line. That is illegal, of course. And in this, well, in three-round boxing in general, but in this edition of the World Championships in particular, good right hand over the top from Hudian. And another one, just causing Mamedov to become a little bit disorganized. But the referees have been really hot on the instruction of head up. But so far, Hudian is dipping down to increase that difference in height between the two that already exist in a bid to reduce his target area. But he hasn't been spoken to about it. Beyond the halfway stage of the second round, Hudian willingly retreating to the ropes here, looking to lure his man into a trap. And there he launches a sneaky right hand off the ropes, skids across them, clockwise to his left, now moving counterclockwise to his right. Good movement and space of the ring being used effectively by Hudian. Nice movement at the head, and then look at that, slipping, sliding, bobbing and weaving on the ropes before scoring with a body shot. And Hudian putting his points across to the officials in no uncertain terms, but that's a veteran's move for my money. Good left hook to the body from Hudian, reciprocated by Mamedov, but Hudian is clamping his arms to the side of the torso of Mamedov and saying to the referee, look, he's holding me. And on that occasion, it was Mamedov who received the talking to. So rather untidy, but there's the same move again. Both boxers are keen to show the ref that it's not them doing the holding. And what Hudian does when he employs that move is he just jumps on his tiptoes when he's about to disengage, as if to say, well, look, I'm being stopped from moving here. Sneaky left hook landed, but then a strong conclusion to the round with a flurry of punches from Hudian.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight to watch. Plenty of action from the pair of them. Not quite what I expected from Hudian, because I've seen him this week. I saw him in the World Championships in 2021. What he's really good at is getting nice and low, raiding him with that jab to the body, long jab to the body, out of a southpaw stance normally, then getting his feet back out. And it's been difficult for opponents to deal with that most of the time, but he's taken it up close and personal more than I thought he would. And I thought Mamedov has dealt with it fairly well at times, but in that second round I thought he found a good distance a bit more often than is opponent did, and he's scoring with that right hand, not freely exactly, but I would say relatively regularly. And looking at the scores, we've got a 4-1 split there for MAMEDOV, which means going into the final round, MAMEDOV has got a 2-point lead with 2 judges. KHUDOIAN has got a 2-point lead with 1 judge, and we've got 2 other cards teed up at 19 apiece. And it's about those 2 cards really now. You can't imagine a 10-8 here.
So a warm embrace to begin the 3rd and final round of a contest that is in the balance. The mouthpiece has been dislodged, and I think it's KHUDOIAN on his exhalation, snaking that jab on an upward trajectory, finding a home for it, and he's pushed out his own mouthpiece as he braced his call. And again, he's back on that front foot in search of that jab, applying pressure with MAMEDOV near the ropes. MAMEDOV swinging freely to try and get out of that confined position, and now it's his turn to drive KHUDOIAN backwards across the ring, and he raises both arms to the early evening sky here in Dubai as if to say, okay, let's do this, let's light it up for the fans in attendance at the Dubai duty-free tennis arena. 30 seconds and change gone in the 3rd and final round, where we have 2 scores tied of 19 points apiece. 2 in 2018 in favor of MAMEDOV, the other 2018 in favor of KHUDOIAN. So those 2 tied scores are going to determine the outcome of this contest. As KHUDOIAN lands with a good right hand lead, he tries for a left hand upstairs and is countered by a left hook to the body. So a minute gone in the 3rd and final round. It's slight advantage KHUDOIAN as KHUDOIAN retreats to the ropes once again, inviting pressure from MAMEDOV, but MAMEDOV not running in recklessly and blind. Well, after a brisk start to the opening round, we just had the action punctuated by a few clinches, and on the resumption it's a quick start out of the blocks from KHUDOIAN and a real untidy tangle, sending MAMEDOV tumbling to the canvas. Oh, beautiful left uppercut, and again he's celebrating that shot, but he's countered by a right hand over the top as he landed a right hand of his own, and he's pot-shotting effectively here now. That's a wonderful counter right cross from MAMEDOV, and he is really warming to his task. He's caught by a leaping left hook there. The following leaping right hook from KHUDOIAN was off the mark. Turned southpaw now has MAMEDOV, and that's not something we've seen often in the course of the tournament. Now he's back in his orthodox stance. Good left hook to the body slung in by the man in red, and he's looking for that same shot once again, but he really is embellishing and celebrating his successes here now with every one that he lands, holding and hitting with the right uppercut and then bringing a left hook into play and hitting on the break from KHUDOIAN, who re-enters the fray as a southpaw. Tries a leaping left hook but couldn't quite find the range. Slapping check left hook off the back foot from MAMEDOV, and the teenager, he's the one showing the veteran savvy to kill the clock and just let it run down, because he don't know. Oh, that's a wonderful right uppercut. The left hook that followed from MAMEDOV wasn't too far away, and again there's that same move from KHUDOIAN. I shouldn't be chuckling, but from the backside, which a referee isn't privy to seeing, I can see precisely what he's doing. 10-second clapper has sounded. Coming swarming forwards is KHUDOIAN, and the 2 men end chest to chest, forcing the intervention of the ref. KHUDOIAN tries to get in another couple of scoring shots, and KHUDOIAN raising his arms up there and celebrating in that red corner. Now, for what it's worth, I happen to think that the man in blue did the better work in that round, but what will say the 5 scoring judges, particularly judges 2 and 3, who had it all square, 20 points to 19 points apiece after 6 minutes of boxing.
Well, that's exactly right. And if we get an announcement that this has gone to bout review, then it's 3-2 either way. If we don't get an announcement, then that means that MAMEDOV has won. I don't want to be a Grinch, but that's what that means, because he needs both of those 19 apiece scorecards, MAMEDOV. That would mean that he would win the fight 4-1, no bout review. If he got just one, or KHUDOIAN got both, then we'd have a 3-2 either way, and we would be going to bout review. And I felt he won that final round.
So the scores take a while to be tabulated, which suggests we could be going to bout review. Given the status of the scorecards, it's likely to be a split, but if it goes to 3-2, then bar review will have been implemented.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest and now IBA World Champion.
Blue corner!
In the blue corner, representing
Subhan MAMEDOV
Subhan
lets out a battle cry of delight at having been declared a split decision victor over the 2023 World Championship bronze medalist Edmond KHUDOIAN. He bitterly disappointed. He takes the bow to all sides of the arena, but in that blue corner, celebrations abound because the teen sensation from Azerbaijan, Subhan MAMEDOV, has made a seamless transition from the developmental age group ranks in his first appearance at a senior world championships. He has won 5 contests out of 5, and that is why he's been presented with that precious championship gold medal, the championship belt from the IBA, and the life-changing $300,000 first prize check that will be split 50% for the boxer, 25% for the coach, and 25% for the federation. A wonderful run through the tournament, and Subhan MAMEDOV is the IBA world champion at 48 kilogram minimum weight.
Really good performance from him. Interestingly, that did go to bout review because those two drawn cards were split 1 apiece. We went to the extra scores. He was 3-2 up originally, stayed 4-3 up because the evaluator and the assessor had it 1 each, and I think he deserved it. I think he deserved it.
Well, Subhan MAMEDOV and his coaches absolutely delighted. What an incredible summer this talented young man has had. The under-23 European champion, and then coming here right off the back of that to Dubai and winning 5 contests out of 5. And that was the moment of confirmation, and just look at what it means to him.
You've got to love that, haven't you?